So today we're gonna be talking about Hmong food. Now I'm gonna take you through a basic of what we would call Hmong food 101. We'll have the rice, we'll have a vegetable, and then the one that brings everything together, the hot sauce. Grilling over fire, it's so innate inside of me. In Hmong families, we have these huge gatherings. This big grill, fire, and the smoke, and the sizzling. It was very iconic. There's something very beautiful about cooking over wood fire. It's deeper than Hmong food to me. It's legacy. So when you're building a fire for grilling, there's plenty of techniques out there. Everyone thinks theirs is the best. What I usually do is I make kind of like a log cabin, and then I actually use a little bit of charcoal in the center. When the charcoal gets real hot and it starts burning the wood down, that becomes the game, right? You move the wood around, I break it down to the embers. That's where the true heat comes from. You get the hint of that smoke that kisses the meat. You want to create the grill into two sections. You have your cold section, which you keep the coals away, and then on the other half you have your hot section. Pretty much it. The cornerstone of my childhood growing up. Actually, even in the whole Hmong culture, we always have this line that we just say, hey, it's always good with rice. For the Hmong people, it's about the purple sticky rice. A lot of people always ask us, why is it purple? Black rice has a really strong history with our people. Our people were the first people thousands of years ago to harvest this black rice in the hills of Laos and Thailand. And just to eat the black rice itself, it's kind of got some tooth to it. So we'll take our sweet rice and we actually mix it together. So it's 1 part black rice, 5 part white rice. These were the kinds of steamers that mom and dad used 40 years ago, 50 years ago in the hills of Laos. This is the way that our people cooked. Now, we filled up the water about halfway full on these things. Put something on top to keep that steam in there, and you want that water boiling. We have taken this rice, we strain it, and then we just throw the rice right in the middle. My mom always has this thing where she's just like, you have to get every kernel in there, like every grain. And mom saw me now, she'd be like, what are you doing? When you're cooking, you're always checking, you're always tasting. So this guy's been on for like 15, 20 minutes, and we check on it. Just, do a little taste. Okay, that's exactly the texture I want it. You flip it, and then we let it sit for another 5 minutes to get that top part, and that's how you evenly cook it. That's perfect. The smell of fresh steamed rice that hits me in the face, that brings me to my mom's kitchen. I love that smell. You can use whatever vegetables you want. I really love using zucchini, squash, and carrots. Cut them right in half, layer them on, and we just brush it with oil. If you're salting something, make sure you're 6 to 8 inches up. When you go low like that, the salt just piles up in one section. With the zucchini and squash, we're gonna put the cut side down. Take a little bit of that oil, a little salt, just throw a little salt on. Just take your carrots, 5 to 6 minutes, we're gonna check on it, and then we're gonna flip it to the other side. See how all that juice is boiling out there? And you can see it kind of rendering here. So that's signal for me that you're about a minute away for just being done. Cooking with fire is very interactive. It's not something that you can just, put it in the oven, turn it on, set it and forget it kind of deal. Gotta know your heat, because the moment you get that big flame, everything burns and it gives that sooty, burnt, campfire taste, and that's not what we're really looking for here. Our carrots are done, let it sit, let it cool a little bit, and then that residual heat, we'll keep cooking it. So we have these vegetables. They're great on their own. If you just want to do this, squeeze a little lime on top, you totally can. But we're gonna make the sauce. And this sauce is a very simple sauce. Some fish sauce, honey, a little bit of Thai chilies. So you want that little heat in there. Then we have that garlic, throw in some salt. I really like that citrus pop. Gotta squeeze the lime. And what's great about these vegetables, it's like a sponge. So the moment that sauce hits in there, it's gonna absorb all that flavor, all that sweet, all that savory. I love that. So we have our shallots, our Thai chilies, and our garlic. Add a little oil, so when we put the salt in, the salt just doesn't fall off. Find your hottest heat, you just put the shallots right on. I always tell people you're cooking with all your senses, right? Your sight, your smell, your taste, and especially sound. So the moment we threw those shallots on, you heard that sizzle, that means that that's right at that hot spot that you want. Arts and craft time. So just take a piece of tin foil and you create a little boat with it. There's a little boat, and again, you find that hottest spot, take the chilies, you take the garlic, and you put it right over. What you really want to do with the shallots is you want to really char the outside. We want to bring that sweetness out. It's going to help counterbalance those Thai chilies. Keep flipping it because you don't want to burn it, but you actually do want to char it. When Mom was making this hot sauce, it was actually the sound of our dinner bell in a way, because the hot sauce was the last thing that she always made. So we're going to just take this guy, throw into our bowl right here. Just throw our shallots in there, and then garlic. I just like pressing the garlic down. Again, garlic is super tender. So you're making a paste. Now add a little salt in there. And that salt's gonna help grind everything up. I like that middle, right between that chunky and that smooth stage. And we'll put in the cilantro. I tell people it's about hitting the edge and bringing it down. And you kind of just go in a circular motion. Oh man, like if you smell this, you can smell the smoke in there. It's just super delicious. Fish sauce is like that crazy uncle. Like, it's really interesting to have them around for the holidays, but you don't want them there the whole time, right? So when we're doing fish sauce, you don't want too much, but you actually do need it. Yeah, you want that umami, you want that savoriness out of it. So I'm gonna add a little oyster sauce in it. This isn't part of Mom's recipe. She'll probably actually judge me a little bit if she sees this. The lime here is gonna bring the whole sauce together. Now, Hmong food, remember, it's about balance, right? Take the sticky rice. This becomes your edible napkin, as I call it. I'm gonna dip it into the hot sauce. Delicious. I taste the smokiness to it. It's very herbaceous, it's super bright. The sweetness of the sticky rice helps balance out the chili. Here we have it, a great start to any Hmong meal, what I would consider Hmong 101. We have your veggie, we have your rice, and we have your hot sauce. Grilling over wood fire, it's an experience. You have to make a lot of mistakes. Once you're able to have an understanding and have a flow of it where you're not fearful of the flames anymore, it becomes very fun. There's something very beautiful about cooking over wood fire.